What's going on, guys, and welcome back to our Surviving Java series. And yes, we are yet still over here at the Super Smelter area, hopefully for the last episode. This will be like the third episode in a row, I think, of working around here. Or did we? No, we had an episode's break in between to check out the Mounts of Mayhem stuff, didn't we? So it's not as bad as I was thinking it was. What is that? Is that like a carrot and a rotten flesh? Okay, it must have been a zombie. So hopefully today's going to be the last day of working over here, and as you could probably tell, although it is fully functional and it is working well now and smelting stuff extremely quickly, it is pretty much a very big eyesore. So that is going to be something that we want to tackle today. But the design I've got in mind uses an absolute ton of resources. It also means I want to swap out all of this mossy cobblestone and mossy stone bricks and moss, and as well as the green glass, which is just going to be a nightmare because there's no tool that can insta-mine glass. And then we also need to avoid the fact that we don't want to be dropping items into our smelter, because it means me having to go through into every single one of the hoppers above the furnaces to pick up whatever items have fallen into them. So there's going to be a bunch of different sets that we're going to have to do. I was trying to think of different blocks that we could place underneath before breaking the glass. And other than glass itself, because obviously when you punch glass, you can punch it at the same speed that you can break it with a pick, but it will just break. It won't actually drop the block. But the same isn't the same. Well, the same isn't the same. The same isn't for the cobblestone and brick. Yes, you can punch it, but yes, it takes freaking ages, and I don't want to do that around the whole thing. I did test it out as well with 2 blocks here of how long it would take, and it would take very, very long. But I found a solution for that, and that is probably going to be laying a layer of the sculk underneath, and then harvesting the sculk with a fortune hoe instead of silk touch, and that way it will only drop XP. It won't actually drop the blocks or anything like that, and you're able to insta-mine it. I think it's the only block in the game that you can insta-mine without it dropping the block itself. So that's good for us, but nevertheless there is still a bunch of other resources we need to gather as well as the sculk. So I'm going to do something that I don't usually do, and that is going to be a little bit of a montage of me gathering resources, and hopefully rope Clowd into helping me gather some of them as well, because there is so freaking many of them. So yeah, I'll catch you after the montage. Alright, so after that very, very long montage, as you can see, there's a bunch of different resources here. I think the ones that were most time consuming to get was the dead coral stuff, because we actually had to go over to a war motion to get it. Getting the black concrete, I already had a bunch of that stockpiled. Glass was stockpiled. We had to craft a whole bunch of the mossy cobblestone and mossy stone bricks. And I was running desperately low on moss, so we went over to the moss farm and gathered a whole bunch more of the moss. And then I needed the pale moss carpet, which is in here. But in order to get that, what I ended up doing is swapping out a couple of the layers of our moss farm with the pale moss. So that way we are now getting a butt ton of pale moss as well. So I've got a couple of shulkers of pale moss here set aside in case we do need it for further projects or future projects rather than further. But yeah, now it's going to be a case of me having to place this ridiculous amount of blocks. Like the main building blocks is tough, which I've never built out of before, and deep slate, which I've not really done a massive amount of builds out of deep slate, not like cosmetic style builds. I've used it for like plain blocks and sort of shading for mountains and whatnot, but other than that I've not really used it. And then the bulk of the andesite, probably the andesite, stone bricks, raw tuff, and what other blocks, the mossy cobble, the mossy stone bricks, are all being used as like a foundation base, which is going to take very, very long to do. But it does also mean I have to, I don't think I'm going to have enough room in my pockets to do this, so we're going to need a empty shulker in order to do this. Let's just put away all of this stuff. That should be more than enough room, and hopefully we'll be able to pick up the rest of this. So, oh, actually I'm not too sure about that. 3, 1, 2, 3. I need 4 more inventory spots. So you, and you. That should hopefully be enough. Yeah. Filled inventory of all of the resources that we are going to need for this project. Oh, I don't think I've got a bed on me either, which is going to be annoying. Have I? I do, but it's in the box. What's in the box? Where are we going? Over here. So I'm going to have to clear a bit of an area, so I need to get rid of a whole bunch of trees on this back end, as well as a whole bunch of trees. I do apologise for my phone. A whole bunch of trees on this side as well. The is it the north side? Yeah, the north side. So over here I'm also going to have to clear a whole bunch of trees. Oh, it's going to take so long. So yeah, what we are going to do is first of all put down all of these resources somewhere where I'm going to be able to access them consistently without having to destroy or move a whole bunch of crap. So I think this far back is probably going to be far enough, and then I'm just going to have to cut down these trees anyway, so it's not too bad. So what we can do is hop into a time lapse of me doing all of this block placing, so it's going to take freaking ages. We'll do the deep slate. I want to also keep these in a relatively intuitive order, so I know where to look for each of these. So you've got deep slate and then tough, and then the mossy stuff can also go here. Well, the mossy and normal stone can go there. You are normal stone. Tough, go here. Tough, here, and here. What other ones have we got? We've got black concrete, which can go with deep slate. Black wall can go with that. The skulk is an outlier. That is outlier. I'll stop placing sideways. Whenever you place it on grass for some reason, it always places the shulker box sideways, which is really annoying. Stone brick, you can go here. I'm going to need my bed, and very quickly, otherwise we're going to get swamped with mobs. Can we do that? No, we still got about 30 seconds. So let's go with, you are an outlier as well. You can go here. You're mainly deep slate stuff. You're mainly deep slate stuff. Glass and glass. And then you are our odds and ends box with our gingerbread man on. Let me sleep. Please, thank God for that. And awake. Then we can place our andesite, which can go with the stone. Cobble can go with stone. More glass over there. outlier there. If you're wondering what I mean by outlier, I mean it's the blocks don't really have a category of where they go. Whatever. Can we just grab like anything here? You'll do. Put you there. Just so it's more intuitive for me to come and grab blocks and I know where they are. So yeah, let's jump into this time lapse of me creating this monstrosity and we can check it out afterwards. So catch you back in a very long time for me. So I think the project is now finally done at last. It didn't actually take all that long. I think the total build time was probably around about 6 or 7 hours, which for something this size isn't bad at all. And we didn't have any issues by placing all of the skulk underneath the blocks before mining them. Oh man, we're missing some blocks here. That's gonna bug me now. Got any blocks nearby that we can still... I took everything back to be sorted by our sorter. Can we grab a bit of tuff that is up here without it affecting the look? So we could grab this bit. Then replace that with you. That should work. I can't even remember where I grabbed it from. Is it up here? Yeah, up here. If we do that, and then go back up over to here, and do that. There we go. Please don't tell me I've done the same for this side. No, actually I've got the block there, which is good. Okay, so finally done. I also replaced the moss carpet with the pale moss carpets on top of the lights, just to make it match the sort of theme. And it's the first time I've been building primarily out of the tough blocks and the different variations of them. And my god, did I blow through like most of my supply of tough by doing all of this, but I like it. Now what we can do is we've got some boxes for demonstration purposes, so grab you, and no, I didn't grab the other one. Oh, god damn it. Let's head back to base quickly. Luckily, it's literally just over here. There's also a shortcut of the resin that I wanted to get smelted. You, come back. Thank you. I spent some time all the way up there at our little resin farm, because I want to have these blocks on hand just in case I want to build with them. They are a very sort of garish orange type colour, so I don't know what block palettes they will really work well within, but having them on hand should I design anything with them is always going to be handy. But let's first of all just get our netherrack ready to be smelted, so throw all of these into here like so. So when we turn this on, we'll see that we have a whole bunch of lava coming from the towers, and then these things will sort of go on their way and start filling, provided everything's working. Yep, there it is. Okay, I thought it was like lagging for something. But yeah, the lava sort of comes down to signify that the whole thing is actually now running. And then it sort of blends in well. So I've done all of the dead coral and the magma blocks with some dead coral sitting on top, just to add a little bit of texture and variation. The lava sort of flows down into these holes and then along this little sort of charging strip to where our furnace arrays are. And as you can hear that, I've also linked up a blaze head on a whatchamacallit, moat block underneath the ground, which is then linked to a pressure plate down here. So each time an item comes in, it's sending signals to sort of give that blaze sound, as in it's cooking all of these items. But we're now getting all of these items coming in, which goes straight into our pocket. It's very loud though standing here. I may have to lower that blaze head a little bit. But I thought it was just like a nice little interactive touch that signifies the whole farm sort of working, or the super smelter working less than a farm. Come on. And putting these in. I also need to... How far have we gone? Okay, we're nearly at the... There we go. So now we can throw these guys in. Need to make sure it's not when something's up. There we go. Got it just in time. Thank you for the nether bricks. I don't know why, I'm running out of stuff that I need to smelt for demonstration purposes. But I thought I've got ridiculous amounts of netherrack at hand. So throwing this into the smelter was just like a good sort of benchmark testing, just so we can see how quick it runs when it is actually fully running and operational. I'm surprised that we're getting the resin bricks coming in already, so all of the netherrack must be deposited by now. So we're going to be getting a combination of the resin, which is weird. I wouldn't expect the resin to be coming in that early. So something may be dropping. Let me just make sure that all of the furnaces are running. You're running. You're running. You're running. Okay. Okay. Yeah, everything's running. For some reason... Oh, because I put the resin in above the next lot of netherrack. That's how come it's done like a 50-50 split. Oh, I was getting worried then. Guys, I'm going to there. Bring you a little bit closer. Thank you. Then how is it like craft these into the bricks? And then the bricks you can turn into like the walls and slabs and stairs. As you can see, we have now got a very quick super smelter that's gonna go through 3 shulkers in less than what, 4 minutes for 3 full shulkers, which isn't bad going. Gonna start getting the nether brick coming through now. You guys can go into the last lot of the resin. Oh, we're missing one. Thank you. And nether brick. Just gonna leave that sort of run out. I don't know, so I'm glad that this project's done, but it's weird that I've done all 3 stages, episode after episode. So we've done the massive big kelp farm down here, which is fueling our entire thing. That's the point, I didn't actually turn on the fuel. Let's turn that on just to top it up. So we've got that sort of feeding all of our furnaces. So that is the sort of stage 1 with the smoker setup down below. And then we've got stage 2, which is the super smelter build. And then we've got stage 3, which is the big shell that goes over it. I may have to replant some of the jungle trees. Also, I need to do a pathway going to join up to one of the existing paths. So I may run it off this side and go to our old area, because I want to connect this area up with our main area. So we're going to have probably a pathway coming from over there, through this jungle, and then round here to this area. And then we can link it up to this staircase that comes up to the super smelter. And I've made sure that it's all lit up as well, so if we bring up our sort of light levels, everywhere on the actual build itself is non-spawnable. So you are, oh no, saying that, there's a few blocks there and there that I've missed from when I was placing the glow lichen. God damn it, there's always going to be one or two with a bloody base like this. There's another one. I could have swore that I checked it fully before starting to record again. All the back is fine. All the inside is definitely fine. So we've got lanterns and lava and everything running everywhere. I think that's everything smelted, by the way. Oh no, the last spot is there. Okay, happy days. Let's take away the light levels. But yeah, that is the super smelter project now done and dusted. We can actually turn that off. We're just going to leave the fuel running just so it goes all the way to the end to make sure that they are all fully topped up. And then we turn the fuel off. Happy days. But yeah, super smelter done, checked off the list, including the big shell rather than separating it into multiple projects. So next episode, I'm not too sure what we want to work on. I may do something off the project board to decide if I can't decide myself. But there's a number of different little things that I want to work on. So we may have like a sort of odds and ends episode next episode, where there's just little bits and pieces like automating certain farms, producing different things, like farms we've already got built. Could be an idea. Oh wow, I've got so much nether brick already. That's from the bartering hall, I do believe. But now we've got a shulker full of the resin as well. I did make sure that I made some of the resin blocks, just so we could do the filters, but now we've got a full shulker of that. But yeah, that is today's episode done and dusted with. Hopefully you, oh my god, words. No word of lie, I've literally just finished writing like a 4,000 word essay and my brain is fried. I thought I'd come on here and get some bits and pieces done. Why? I thought it was just going to be like a non-thinking type process, but as you can see, words are clearly escaping me at the moment. But I hope you enjoyed today's episode and hopefully I'll catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.